Hi nerds, welcome back and welcome to another bathroom. Woo! I promise you I don't live in a mansion, we just have an ensuite, and doing what I'm gonna do is a lot easier in this one because of this massive mirror. So you're probably already aware. If you're not, I'm in lockdown again, so I'm just stuck at home all day every day. Can't do any grooming, so there's not going to be any dog related content on the channel for a little while, unfortunately. So I figured that since I never filmed me colouring my hair over Christmas when I was doing Vlogmas, I'll take you through it today and kind of see what happens. I'm doing something completely different with my hair today, so it may go completely wrong. If it does, you guys will get a good laugh out of it. If it goes well, you can admire my fabulous hair at the end of it, but we'll see. But just to say, I'm not a hairstylist, I'm not Brad Mondo. Please don't come at me if I'm doing something wrong or it looks terrible or whatever. This is just a bit of fun for me, really. I think I did my purple hair the second week of December or the weekend before, and it's now mid-January and the entire colour has pretty much washed out. You can probably just about see a bit of tinge of like a bluey purple just at the roots where the bleach just really absorbed the colour. And at the back as well, it may look a little bit pink, but because I am going to be using some similar colours over this, I'm not really that bothered. So today, I'm actually going to be using a brand that I have never used before. I'm going for Manic Panic today. I have the Ultraviolet, so this is like a very nice bright purple. Blue Moon, which is a shock blue. This will be really fun, I think. And then lastly, I have Voodoo Forest. This looks very sort of tealy, sort of like a greenish blue in the tub, but on Manic Panic's own website, this is like a really bright turquoisey colour, so it will look really nice. So altogether, they look really nice. And what I'm planning on doing, I'm going to section my hair. I'm going to do like the top half purple, and then underneath, I'm going to do mostly the tealy colour and then add in some blue as like a highlight. I'm really nervous about this combination. I have never had these kind of colours in my hair like all over. When I used to have my hair done professionally, I'd have platinum blonde on the top and then have some really nice accent colours underneath, so it wasn't as loud and in your face as what I'm about to do today. But if it doesn't work out well, I'm stuck at home. It's not like anyone's going to see my hair anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to start sectioning my hair. I want to have like a little bit of probably the teal right at the front of my hair, so I'm just going to section that off separately first. Okay, so I'm literally just sectioning off what would sort of be my fringe, I guess. And what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to tuck it away. I'm not too worried about it being like completely straight. It might look a little bit funny when it's firstly just put on. But what I'm thinking of doing, I will, once I've got all the colours in, I'm just going to brush through my hair with my Tangle Teezer. So hopefully the colours blend in a little bit. It might not work. It worked with my other hair colours. I used to use Adore, but unfortunately they had lots of their colours out of stock, so I'm trying something new and I'm terrified. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly section off the rest of my hair. Okay, here we go. That's about the split I want. I think I've done it pretty well actually. So what I'm gonna do, I've got some brushes I usually use with Adore because the colour is really runny, so it's just a lot easier for me to apply it with a brush. But Manic Panic is really thick and creamy, so I'm not sure how much I'll be using these. I'm just going to be doing like the very edges and between the colours with a brush, and then I'll probably just slap it on with my hands. And because these kind of colours stain so easily, gloves. Now, you're probably going to laugh at me. These are marigolds rather than just, you know, your typical single-use latex gloves. But these babies have seen some things. I prefer using these because they come up all the way up my arms, so if I do make a mess, it's going to be on the gloves rather than my arms. And also it's more sustainable than having single-use gloves. So I think it works really well for me, and, you know, laugh at me all you want, I don't care. Okay, moment of truth, I am terrified. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm just going to slap on the teal sort of all over this bottom section, and then I'm probably just going to grab the blue with my hand and run it down all the way to the tips of my hair in places. I don't want the blue to sort of overtake the teal, if you know what I mean. But I'm about to find out how this goes. And another thing to keep in mind, because these colours do stain, I highly recommend standing on a towel. For some reason, Brits love having carpets in their bathrooms, and I'm not really going to be staining a cream carpet, so It's better to be safe than sorry. But let's get going. Okay, first bit going in. It's looking very blue now that I'm looking at it on a brush. So we'll see how this actually turns out. And I've been doing sort of fun hair colours for a really long time. I think I might have been about 15 or 16 when I first coloured my hair something wild. Like, I'm a natural blonde, and there was times when I'd do like a really nice, like a purpley red, and then I went black for a bit, and I've had pretty much every colour under the sun apart from yellow and green, I think, if I remember correctly. And the last thing I had done professionally a couple years ago now was a platinum all over and then the accent colours on the bottom, like I said at the start of the video. And I really did love them, but unfortunately it's just so expensive that I can't afford to keep doing it. So when I started grooming, I actually stopped going to the hairdressers completely. I just couldn't afford it, and I couldn't justify spending so much money on hair colour every sort of 6 to 8 weeks. So I just let my hair grow out completely. And then October, as a birthday treat, I had my hair done, and instead of just having it blonde all over, I had a lot of highlights done. So once this colour starts washing out, it's gonna look sort of like, not muddled I wouldn't say, but once my own sort of mousy brown hair starts coming through, it's not going to be as vibrant. And I really wish I just had one colour all over, but you know, you live and learn. I should have known myself better that I was going to do something like this eventually. What I do with the back of my hair, because it's really awkward to see, I have a mirror behind me and a mirror in front. So I angle this mirror so I can see it in the mirror in front of me, and then I just do the back of my hair quickly and then move on. It's really awkward to do, so I'm probably going to skip showing it to you guys. Okay, so as you can see in the mirror, I've literally just done along the edge where the colour changes, and then I've also done just underneath at my hairline. So now I can just happily just slap on the rest of the colour on this bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to section it into smaller pieces. So it's a lot easier to saturate the hair with the colour. If you literally just clump it on in big pieces, you'll get patches and you'll end up having to go over the hair again. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I'm literally just taking the colour on the glove, and I'm just gonna work my way through. You know, I'm really happy that I work in an industry that really doesn't care about hair colour. I've had jobs before where, you know, in the contract it states that you're only allowed to have natural hair colour, and that always really bothered me. I've always loved bright colour. It doesn't matter if it's on me or on someone else. It's just fun. It's so different. It's fun. It shows that people aren't worried about kind of standing out and being creative and showing their personality through their hair. It's just quite liberating, you know, just doing whatever you want. Okay, so far I feel like I'm using a lot more of this than I would Adore. I think it's just because this dye is so much thicker. It's honestly like a paste that it's not spreading as easy, and I'm using a lot more. But equally, I think it's covering my hair really well. So I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but it is more expensive than Adore. I can't remember off the top of my head how much Adore was. But out of 2 bottles of Adore, I would get 2 colours out of it. I've already used about half of this teal colour, and I'm only doing half my head. Other than that, I'm really liking it so far. The colour's looking really nice. I don't know if it's going to stay this dark or if it's going to come out a lot brighter than like it did on Manic Panic's website, but we'll see. I'm not going to be upset if it leaves this kind of colour in my hair. I know it doesn't really look as it should on camera. It's a lot more green in person. So I don't know if I'm even going to bother putting that blue in. I might just leave that for the next round, because I have a feeling that even if I did apply it over this teal, it may not show. So I don't know if I want to waste my time and energy doing that. Okay, teal is now in. I'm really liking it so far. I'm just going to brush through this section just to make sure that the colour's spread everywhere. And then I'm going to do the front bit with this same colour, and then I can just carry on with the purple. wanted to do the purple on top on purpose because that's what I've had recently and that's what I'm comfortable with. I've had a lot of pink and a lot of purple in my hair in the past, and I just figured that while I'm introducing some new wild colour I've never had before, I will do something safe over it just in case it looks weird or I don't like it or whatever. But I think now that I've kind of broken the barrier of putting some blue in my hair, I'll be alright with it like next time. So I might have a fully teal head next time I dye my hair. Okay, I'm just gonna wash my gloves so I don't get teal all over my hair where I want the purple, and I will catch you in a second. Okay, it is time for the purple. It is so bright. I really like this shade, but this colour is nowhere near as pasty as the teal was. It's more runny, so it should be a lot easier to apply. Okay, that is looking really nice together. But I'm just gonna get this applied all over now. Nearly there. I've got 1/4 of my hair left. This is taking so long. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting every single section soaking wet with dye so I don't miss any. But that just means that it's taking me so long. I'm worried that my camera's gonna run out of battery or memory or something. But I'm nearly there. Huh. Oh yeah, as I thought, my camera is about to die. I'm pretty much done. I've got literally one section left. I'm gonna get myself cleaned up. This is gonna sit in my hair for about half an hour. I'll wash it, dry it, and then style it, and I will show you the end result. Okay, bit of a fail. The teal, blue, whatever you want to call it, has stuck on beautifully. It's really gorgeous all the way through. But then the purple, it's not purple at all. It's just kind of made my hair sort of grey. Like, considering the colour is called ultraviolet, it doesn't look ultraviolet to me. Like, I'm not mad at it, you know, it still looks nice, but it's not what I wanted at all. I don't know if it's because of the consistency of the dye, because like I said, the purple was a lot runnier in consistency than the teal was, so I don't know if that had something to do with how well it stuck. Obviously I do have a lot of my own hair colour mixed in at the top, so that again could do it, but it doesn't explain how the teal has stuck so much better to the top than the purple did. So I may run some blue over this eventually in a couple of days. I'm just going to kind of sit with it and sort of get used to it. It's definitely a different colour to what I'm used to. It's kind of fun. I'm not too bothered by it, or you know what, I might just put teal and blue over this and see if it sticks, and if it does, it just means that the purple was a dud for whatever reason. Okay guys, it's literally like an hour later. I couldn't deal with it. I just could not deal with the poor excuse of a purple. So I've gone over my hair again and I've added more of the teal and then the bright blue I didn't use the first time round. I've literally just brushed it on with my Tangle Teezer. I literally just slapped on some dye and brushed it through. It's looking so much better already. It's literally just gone on. I've got about half an hour to wait. I just refuse to accept that the purple is that purple. I've seen so many nice pictures of that specific purple coming out so bright and vibrant, and no, I'm just not having it. You know, I had bright purple hair before I did this. You know, I was expecting a similar result. But yeah, I will show you the final product once I wash this off, and I have completely stained my nails. I don't know how I've managed that considering I wore gloves. Must have been when I showered actually, when I was rubbing all the dye off. Oh well, and I will catch you in a sec. Guys, oh my god, I cannot believe how beautiful this is. I wasn't expecting to have blue hair today, but here we are. This is stunning. Such a beautiful, rich blue. This is just absolutely incredible. I mean, Well, I suppose we've gotten over our fear of having blue hair then. Oh my, just look at that colour. I'm glad I went through the effort of fixing this the same day, because I have a feeling that if I left it for, you know, tomorrow or the day after, whatever, I wouldn't have done it. I'm obsessed. I think blue might be my new colour. I'm obsessed. This has worked out so well, and it now shows that it was the purple that was the problem, not my hair. I was worried that my own hair colour wouldn't pick up the dye, but so happy. Okay, I'm gonna go and fangirl somewhere, so thank you so much guys for watching this video. If you did like it, do leave it a little thumbs up. As you know by now, it really helps out my channel, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It's completely free of charge to do, and it just means that you won't miss my next video. Bye guys.